Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. I'm Chef Steph and I'm going to be talking to you about how to make meals from your pantry. So today's recipe that I've selected is chicken mole with carrots. Now mole is a traditional sauce and it typically has 20 and 30 ingredients in it, but I'm doing a mole sauce essence of mole. That is much less time consuming and easier for you guys, and it uses key ingredients from your pantry. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to cook a little bit and then we'll chat. And guys, I encourage you to go ahead and send your questions in to me because we can answer them right here live for you, all right? So I have my pan. Let me go ahead and get my pan on heat and get it started here. I'm going to put it on a medium heat. It's going to make a little bit of noise. And what I'm using today is I'm using a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there, and guys, the recipe was posted. It's also posted in the notes below this video, so you'll have it. It's so simple. You could probably remember it without even using the recipe. So I have my olive oil going in, and we're gonna let that heat up. We always wanna add cold food to a hot pan. Otherwise, what happens is it acts as a sponge, and all of this oil that I just put in, instead of coating the food, it gets absorbed, and then you're gonna have to add more. So we have our olive oil. While that's heating, let's talk about cutting up an onion. I'm going to be using the pinch grip today. We always want to make sure we handle our tools carefully in the kitchen. So I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be holding my knife way back here. I'm going to use the pinch grip. We're also going to stand up straight at our cutting board so we cut straight. Makes sense, right? So here's my onion. The roots grow down. The top is here. This is one onion. It's going to equal about 2 cups. So, whoops, this is a little slippery right here, isn't it? Let's pull some of that off. All right, keep my fingers back out of the way. Now I have a flat surface to work with. So next I'm going to go right through the middle of this onion. We'll set this to the side. Hopefully it will peel easily for me. There we go. Perfect. Now, I'm just going to set this down right here. And I'm going to pretend there's an imaginary 1-inch line from here to the top. And I'm going to make parallel cuts all the way across and not go through the top. So I'm going to be my own little food processor. So I'm going to keep my hand back. I'm going to use the pinch grip, and I'm going to make these simple little tight parallel cuts going all the way across, keeping my other hand out of the way, right? Because we don't want any manicures today, right? We're cooking. All right, we're cooking in the outdoor kitchen today, folks. All right, so there's my onion, and you can see it's all still together. And then we can just rotate it, line up our knife, keep our hand back out of the way, and we can just simply glide our knife right over and make a beautiful little dice. Now, I have already got my onion prepared for you, but I wanted to show you how easy it was to do it. So here's my onion. This is about 2 cups of onion. I've got my oil. I'm going to add this in. When you hear it sizzling, you know you got it to the right temperature. All right, we've got this in here. Awesome. All right, and I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, and we'll move this out of the way. All right, there we go. Let's just set this out of the way. All right, let's give this a stir. So there's my 2 cups of onions. They're just going to cook for about 4 or 5 minutes. We just want to soften them up. We don't want them to be chewy in our recipe today. Now you could use any type of onion. The yellow onions are the most economical, but you could use white. You could even use sweet onions if you wanted to. All right, so we're just going to let those cook a little bit. Traditional moles usually contain some type of nut. Now, we're going to be using natural peanut butter today. It's already, we don't have to grind it, and the most popular mole is poblano mole. But we're going to use this, and you can spice it up. I don't have any pepper heat in it, but I welcome you to add a jalapeno, some poblanos, or your favorite chili pepper to it, and make this recipe your own. This is just really a starting point for you guys to get going. All right, let me check on these onions a little bit more. And guys, don't forget, ask me questions because this is live today. All right, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I don't want to brown them. I just want to soften them. Okay. Let's let those just cook for just a little bit more. And let's talk about our ingredients I've got over to the side. You can see I have many canned good items, and really that makes it beneficial for you because you're like, what should we have for dinner? And you can pull this right out of your pantry and make it. All right, these onions are looking really good. You can see that they're starting to change color a little bit. Not quite so raw. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull them apart. I'm gonna kind of scoot these over to the side for a minute, and then I'm gonna add in my peanut butter right to the middle. We'll add the peanut butter right into the dish. This is a natural peanut butter, but really you could use any type of peanut butter that you wanted to. All right, there's our peanut butter. I'm gonna add our cocoa powder. This is just like you would use to bake a chocolate cake. We're gonna add that right in. And cocoa, by the way, wasn't a normal ingredient that existed in original mole recipes. And this is our chili powder, which is really a blend of many different spices. So we're gonna add that right in as well. All right, so just gonna stir that up for a second with our onions here. And next, there we go, we're getting this nice kind of pasty look. Mixing that in really well. Now let's add our chicken, because the broth of this chicken is actually gonna make our sauce for us. So I love these Pop Tops, don't you? It's so easy, no can opener required. So this can of chicken is just a little bit bigger than what I would like, but you have to work with what you have at home. All right, we're gonna add that one in. So there's one. Let's go ahead and get the other one added in. So this recipe is gonna feed 4, which is great if there's only 1 or 2 of you, because then you've got leftovers, right? Okay. Set these out of the way. Okay, there's my beautiful chicken. And then we're just gonna let this thicken for a second. I'm gonna get stirred up, and then I'm gonna add in the carrots next. This recipe is sweet and savory, and like I was saying before, you can control the heat. Also, this makes a great dish to freeze and reheat later. All right. There we go, that looks great. All right, so it doesn't look like it's thick now, but it's gonna thicken up here as we cook it. All right, let me go ahead and add my carrots in. So this is what 2 cans of carrots look like right here. I did drain these. We don't want the water from the carrots. We only wanted the water from the chicken. So let's add our carrots in right now. Okay, get all the, whoops, I got a couple trying to escape from me, right? All right, you are gonna need a large pan for this, as you can see. All right, get that in there. Now, if you didn't have canned carrots and you happen to have fresh carrots, you could cut those up. I would put them in with the onion so they could start to tenderize. Also, it's important when you're cooking that you chop up all your vegetables and make them about the same size so everything cooks evenly. All right, I can see that the sauce is starting to thicken. I'm gonna turn the temperature up a little bit more. You can see this makes a lot. This is a really big skillet here. Chicken looks really nice, and this actually will provide you with a actual ½ cup of carrots, a vegetable serving per person. All right, how are we doing? We got any questions out there yet?
We have someone asked, would you recommend crunchy or creamy peanut butter?
Oh, that's a great question. Crunchy or creamy peanut butter? You know, use what you like. Crunchy's good. Actually, I was thinking today if I had some whole nuts, I would use that as a garnish and sprinkle on top. We're gonna go with an additional garnish later, but that's a great question.
Okay. All right, next question is, how spicy is this dish with the amount of chili powder you just added?
All right, so the question is, how spicy is this dish with a tablespoon of chili powder? It's not spicy at all. So unless chili powders are gonna vary a little bit, but for most people, even if you are my friends from the Midwest and not from the Southwest, you are gonna be able to eat this. It won't be too hot for you. Do we have any other questions?
Nope, that's all the
All right,
questions.
that's all our questions. Keep them coming, guys. Thanks so much. All right. This is looking good. I'm just gonna keep stirring it because the one thing, I don't know if you've ever toasted nuts, but they go from perfect to burnt just like that. So we wanna make sure we're continually stirring this because it will adhere to the bottom of your pan, which is not what we want. We just want it to thicken up. And I can see, you can see the water is starting to, or the sauce is starting to thicken. Now, what else might you add? I already mentioned one thing we might add to this would be some fresh jalapeno peppers or poblanos, or what else might you add to this dish? Looking at this from ingredients you have in your house. So while we're waiting on another question to come in, this really only needs to simmer on medium heat for about 10 minutes. Again, just long enough to thicken the sauce. That's all we're looking for. We want to warm the vegetables through and the chicken. There we go. It's looking good. Smells really good too. If you're a peanut butter fan, you will love this dish. And also, you could use any nut butter if you wanted to use cashew butter or pepitas. If you want to grind those up and make your own, that would be traditional, which would also be delicious. It'll just alter the flavor profile just slightly, but that's okay.
All right. What
Okay.
type of canned chicken do you prefer?
What type of canned chicken do I prefer? Really, at this point, whatever is on sale or whatever is actually on the shelf in the stores, right? You can use any type. And like I was saying earlier, that if you didn't have canned chicken available, if you would cook chicken earlier, any type, chicken legs, chicken thighs, chicken breast, whatever type of chicken you have, you could add that in already cooked. Just chop it up and put it right in here. Now the difference is, because remember I added the water from that can of the chicken, you would have to add some liquid in equivalent to that. Okay, you can see it wasn't very much, but it was just enough. You can see my sauce is getting really thick. That was a really good question. Thanks for asking.
Very good. Someone asked if they could use canned chicken from Costco.
Can we use canned chicken? Yes, that's really the best price point typically to buy it. And when I buy my canned chicken, I usually buy it at a large box store, so you can get a better price on it. Good question. All right, guys, you can see this is really thickening up now. It's making a nice, lovely sauce. Let's go a little bit longer. We're almost done. Like I said, this is a really quick recipe. All right, that's looking good. All right, let's season it. Let's give it a little bit of seasoning. I'm gonna give a little bit of pinch of salt. And a little pinch of pepper to your taste. Give that one more stir. Looks really nice. All right, let me give it a little taste and we'll see how it is. Let's let it cool off for just a second, right? Tastes great. All right, let's get this plated up for you guys. All right, I've already prepared some rice. I'm going to serve it over rice. There's our rice. There we go. Just move this out of the way. Put this right over here. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. All right, let's give it one more stir. You can see it's nice and thick now. We created our sauce. All right, fantastic. All right, let's set that down. I'm gonna get my spoon that I just used. Let's ladle this on. All right, just a couple of carrots on top there. There we go. And for garnish, I've got a nice pico de gallo. Oh, the fan is on. Sorry about that, folks. I made up this morning, so we're just gonna add this on a little bit. Just a little bit on top, just to add a little bit of color. There we go. Put that right there. And add a little sprig of fresh cilantro. And there we have it. All right. It was just that easy, folks. You saw that in real time. And the good thing about this meal is you can freeze it and reheat it. I like to use these little restaurant style microwavable containers. They're great. They last a long time. You can reuse them over and over. They're microwave and dishwasher safe. So if you have something like that, it's great. Also, it really helps if you're trying to watch your portion sizes, is that you know how much is in here and it's a set amount for you to make into your meal plan. Okay, any other questions for me today, folks? We're good? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching All Things Edible today. Check back on our channel for more cooking instruction and tips and techniques. We have some coming up in the future for snacking, for quick and easy lunches, and some other things that are edible from the garden. All right, thanks so much.